guys, welcome back. I know you're probably thinking, why are we back at the Pleasantview Museum? And that's because we're gonna do a tour. I finally finished the last bit of things that I needed to do, which was I wanted kind of postery things for these walls. I didn't want a ton of them, and now that I'm looking at them, they kind of look a little bit small and sad on the wall, but I don't care because I made them. I did not factor in the roll aspect of this. You can see some mistakes were made. Like this one works kind of okay. I also should have done like a darker font, but I was just like messing around. So yeah, at some point I might come back to it and fix those, but whatever. It's fine. So this is the outside of the Pleasantview Museum. Pleasantview Museum. I am just a stuttering fool today. You can see we've got kind of like a little advertisement thing there. We've got a fire hydrant. There are some electric bikes here that can be rented. We have the kind of employee parking lot back here with also all the electrical and things. The trash cans. The outdoor part of the cafe where you can kind of sit. There's also a little bit of a display here of an old train car. And here is the public parking lot, which I just noticed that's going through the wall. We'll have to fix that. But yeah, this is for, obviously, the public. There is handicap parking, and there's also a little bike rack here, because they do encourage lots of kids to be here. Got a sign, got another sign up there. There is some clipping of stuff on the roof, but I don't care enough to stop it. Nope, do not care. So let's get this tour on the road. So you can see we got some newspapers for sale. There's a little sign about the hours. And when you come in, first thing, there's some different posters about community events. Local colleges have a set-up table here. You can kind of see that there is a gift shop. Also, why you be playing? Hold on. Okay. So you can see there's like a gift shop over there, but obviously if you're just coming in to this renovated H&M, you can see some posters just about general things about what you're going to find at the museum, things you can do at the museum, rules, that kind of thing. There's another little setup table here, maybe about potential careers. And this is the rest of the lobby. So you would come up here, got some hand sanitizer, things like that. There's some brochures. Just kind of don't take pictures, rules, the typical thing you'd see. We also have signs about like what the Wi-Fi is and what cards they take. And if you want to go on like an audio tour, they have those available under the desks, like the lost and found. They also have some wheelchairs available for the people who can't really walk through the whole thing and want to still experience it. This is supposed to be a map. I mean, it's like a train map, but whatever. We can pretend it's a map. And I like to imagine this is like board of directors or current person running the museum. Got a little snack machine, ATM, fire extinguisher, some general flags, and this is where you kind of start the museum. You come into kind of like the nature section, as I like to call it. We have some pottery made by Mary Sue Pleasant, some different bird feathers. It's kind of just a display of local, maybe and not so local wildlife because you see the macaw, but maybe macaws are here, you don't know. Some little fish that you might find in a local river, and just kind of some paintings and photographs, again, that are meant to be representative of the area. Just kind of some interesting little naturey art pieces as well. This is actually an animal display, taxidermy. There's snakes and little rabbits. We're gonna go over here first before we finish this room. Continue on with the theme. There is this display here of a bunch of different taxidermied birds and also some reptiles you can see in there. Little rodents as well. Just local wildlife, things that you might find if you are walking around Pleasantview in the naturey areas. Very official term. Got some kind of mounted taxidermy here as well. This hasn't changed a ton. I mostly just added more to it. Over here, we've got some photographs by a local photographer, as well as kind of some local plants that were grown, again, by Pleasantview residents that brought them in. This is flora and fauna that is natural to the area. I just realized a little oopsie there. It's also why we're doing this tour. There's a bonsai plant through that book. Alright. Where were we? Also, lots of, this is where the exit is signs. I was trying to make it as realistic as possible in terms of museums. Like, you'll see little poles to start the fire alarms. God, words are hard. Words are very hard for me today and every day. So in here we have kind of a temporary exhibit. It's local butterflies. Pleasantview in my neighborhood in Cannon is well known for having a very wide variety of butterflies. So there are some live specimens here. These are all, of course, taxidermied. Some more that were taxidermied, probably by obviously a different person. I like to think too that these were maybe donated by locals. Over here we do have some art that was made local kids in the area. Again, most of it's very local. I'm going to say local a lot. And some butterflies in kind of glass tray things. So you'll come back here and we're going to go towards kind of the geology area, but you'll see more pictures of Pleasantview. Got some kind of informational posters and crystals that were found within Pleasantview. Pretty big variety here. There's also some botanical prints, some stuff on like the natural farming cycle. This giant log thing. You never know, Pleasantview could have had a thriving logging community back in the day. Again, just more informational posters, things about ladybugs, things like that. They also have their local snapping turtle. I know that I gave it a name, but I already forgot what it was. But yeah, and they feed him about every couple hours just to show off what he can do and his jaws. We do have a shark jaw here. I kind of made it for my Pleasantview canon that originally Pleasantview had like an ocean and also lots of T-Rexes. So we've got some aquariums here. This gorgeous, gorgeous dinosaur CC that is in Simlish, but it talks about all the different dinosaurs. I mean, there's more, but whatever, you know what I mean. Over here we have this giant aquarium. If you press that button there, it'll basically show the prehistoric version of what Pleasantview would have looked like, or the ocean's Pleasantview would look like. There is an elevator, no stairs, because we're trying to be conscious that not everybody can use stairs. I am one of those people, so I think about it. Just lots of informational posters again. I also put in this little area. It's like a sandbox kind of area. Kids can play in it if they want, but it's more to let you like touch these types of items. And then there's a little bench so you can make sure your kids aren't like eating the shells if you want to. We also have a giant T-Rex head on display because I went ham on the T-Rexes. Over here is just some displays of different articulated skeletons or impressions of dinosaur feet. That's a sign leading to the cafe. We also have some fossils here, kind of like a dinosaur chart, trying to keep it kid-friendly. Restroom. There was a restroom over there as well, but they're boring. You don't need to see them. We do have a little lizard in here. We have two lizards as well as like a fake dinosaur just to kind of show that, hey, look at the comparison. Over here, yet more fossils. More photographs taken by a local photographer. Again, this little display here, it's kind of meant to be like the end of the museum, but like you can sign up for the yearly gingerbread house competition, and the prize is a trip to Mount Komorebi. So before we go upstairs, I want to check out the trophy room, which is really just lots of like small town awards and ribbons and things that people have won. I see that's kind of in the wall a little bit. Let me fix that. Part of this tour is just me going, I need to fix that, and that's fine. Oh, not what I wanted to grab. Not what I wanted to grab. I want you. Oh, I was wrong. I was wrong. It's fine. It's fine. False alarm. False alarm, everybody. So yeah, lots and lots of trophies because over the years there's been all sorts of competitions going on here. And I am going to do a kind of a CC find list as to where all these are. It's just there's a lot and I have to track them all down. Some of them do come with the game, like that chicken I know is from Sims 2, that bowling trophy, this horse. A few of the things in here do come with just the game. I'd say base game, but like no one just has base game anymore. That's not how it works. As you can see, we have one giant articulated T-Rex here. One of the kind of requirements for people coming in and taking out all of the many complete skeletons that they found here, because Pleasantview, of course, is very special in that regard, is one of them had to remain on display. So now we're going to go down this little hallway here. We have some kind of handmade, various things made out of wood, say woodcraft, made by Brad Burb and donated to the museum by his family. It's kind of like a thing about ships, because people did immigrate here at some point. I don't know, it just doesn't look like it belongs in a museum sometimes. This is one of my favorite rooms. This is the Bella Goth mystery room. In the canon for my neighborhood, of course, Bella Goth was found and she came back, but obviously the mystery itself was a big deal and it inspired a lot of different things. Oh, sorry, my ears. Not happy with my headset. Inspired a lot of artwork and just different things. We have different paintings that were inspired by that. Of course, merchandise was inspired by that. That's a pair of Bella Goth's actual gloves that someone donated, as well as her golf clubs. There was an album. It really was quite the phenomenon because no one knew where she was or what happened to her until she returned, and she has not spoken on it, so I like to think that that is like a pile of the case files, basically, all in a nice little pile. This tree is meant to be like Bella and Mortimer carved their initials there and used to sit on that swing kind of deal. And maybe that's her prom dress. So yeah, every little Bella Goth item I could find, essentially. And then over here is actually the land grab room. This is all artifacts and different things related to the land grab family, who did kind of found Pleasantview a bit. Obviously there's some contention over there with Gunther Goth, but we have the Admiral Landgrab portrait, just different things that belong to the family. My headcanon is where the condos were used to be like old houses district, and they were all torn down to put those condos there, and one of those houses was the old Landgrab Manor. And so they just kind of donated a lot of their old items here. Like the idea that one of them owned a bar at one point. And then we've got a jeweled case there, a portrait there, just kind of different things. There's this really cool trellis that's actually modeled on, or it's like a fence, but it's modeled on Sims 1. And I like the idea that they just kind of salvaged it from the old house. But yeah, just different items related to their family that might not be special anywhere else, but obviously it's part of Pleasantview's history and they want to make sure that it's here. So let's go ahead and go in the elevator. We're not going to go in the gift shop yet because we're not leaving. Yeah, okay, so you come up here. This is the old bell that used to be at the courthouse before they built a new one. We have two restrooms up here. I guess I can show you one. These are just single stall. Nothing fancy. There's a trash can, a couple of posters just about local events, drinking fountain. If you go this way, this is kind of like the world cultures room. These are all items that have been brought to Pleasantview by various people who've either gone on trips or been archaeologists and that sort of thing, and now they're here. So there's like the Take Me Zoo, oh, I can't remember, Shang Simla, those type of neighborhoods, I guess Asian inspired. We have all of those items here. And then all of the island inspired neighborhoods like Twiki and Sulani. Various objects here. Some more pottery. This really cool cart that I just imagine like the fair came into town and maybe left some things behind. Different like tapestries that have been properly mounted so they don't fall apart. And then of course Pleasantview at some point had to have had some sort of famous archaeologist, so this is a recreation of their discovery of a specific area. I think Celdorada is what it's called in Sims 4, but I like to imagine that they made a really big discovery and this is kind of like the recreation of it. So you can see like there's bones and just different supplies. Just having a good time here. Come through here, there's lots of pieces of art too in this main room. You can see there's like a snail there, just big sculptures. We'll stop by them as we go through. This is of course the cow plant room. So we have this cool, not really a mosaic, a relief we'll go with. And all of the cow plants you see that I could find. I like the idea that Mortimer Goth was involved in the creation of the cow plant, and so it's part of Pleasantview history. And none of these are live cow plants, they're just examples. These ones you can actually touch, that's why they're on the table. Different pictures. I had to have a cow plant room, I had to. But art there. This is the science room, which I had a lot of fun with, although I had less CC for it than I expected. So there's a TV set up, there's kind of a bench, and kids can hang up their art that's space themed here if they want to. Giant periodic table, lots of kind of Simlish science-y posters. Different science artifact. I really don't have too much to say in terms of what's actually in here, other than Pleasantview is well known for kind of space stuff as well. So we have this cool phases of the moon chart. Over here there's kind of like a Lego rocket. Different photos, pictures of planets and things. These are all lights actually, but they're not on currently. And they're obviously not in the order they should be, but yeah, it's The Sims, they don't have to be. Again, more just posters and pictures of the planets. Over here is a collection of replica aliens, thought to have been brought back on various trips to various planets. Pictures. We have a robot fish because there's also a huge robotics section here and I love it. Let's see, right here is kind of some memorials to various people who have been involved in the sciences or space craft kind of things. Over here is like a small exhibit on the guinea pig flu, because I had to. Yeah, like it was necessary. We have giant servo statues here, and we come up to the actual robotics area where we just have anything that I could find that was kind of robotic. I think that comes from Alice Madness. Anything robotic came in here, including the little VR headset. So yeah. Come back down the stairs, go through here. There is an area that's currently being worked on. Oh, let's go this way. There's nothing really in it at the moment, just being painted, re-drywalled, that sort of thing. It's coming soon. This is the paranormal room, which is probably the tightest area. I tried to make it pretty accessible, like there's a few stairs in the science room, but other than that, everything's pretty, you know, the paths are wide and stuff. This is the only one that's really cramped and tight. You could still probably get a wheelchair in here, but it would be cramped. So of course, all of the paranormal stuff came in handy here from that pack. So this is like Gidry, a bunch of just stuff yanked from Sims 4 directly, ghost capture units and stuff. I also included this crystal ball, which is a functional thing, but yeah. This Furby picture that I love so much that it's not even funny. And we just got some kind of cool spooky art. We've got the death fish, and also I think that's a robot fish, but it's in here. We have the mermaid skeletons, which I think are really cool. It's kind of torn up paranormal werewolf pictures. Different things. We got jarred freezer bunnies, very important, very important. A gnome in jail, typewriter, some camera equipment, some more spooky stuff. I I had a lot of fun with this room. Like, I just wanted to put all of it in one space because, again, it's probably a hotbed for that type of thing. So come down here, there's some more just modern art for the most part in these hallways. And we come to the best room, in my opinion. So we have the little hangers here so if the kids are coming in, but this is the kids' room. And it's very nature themed. So over here, kids have drawn a bunch of different things relating to the exhibits. There's like an easel set up so they can specifically draw and do that. And then there's like a little tent. There's an ant farm. Just kind of very kid-friendly sort of graphics and things. Lots of places to play. There is a parrot that is here during the day. Got kind of more of a blocks building sort of area here. There is a TV that'll kind of play educational programming, a puppet theater, and a bunch of books. And the puppet theater too has these little daisies that the kids are supposed to sit on. I just think it's really cute and really was a fun space. I don't know what's missing there. Something's missing. I don't know. Oh, I see. Why are you down there? Hold on. For goodness sake. I don't know why that decided it wanted to go down on the ground, but let's see if I can't grab it without ruining everything. Nope, can't. Okay, fine. Fine, we'll do it the hard way. I don't even remember where it was. I think it's like that. Okay, so this is like really local Pleasantview. This is all stuff that's basically famous people from Pleasantview. So Bob and Betty Newby. There's a lot of different like musical items that are related to Pleasantview. Goopy is apparently, he plays the trumpet and he's released quite a few albums. Has fishing gear, just different things that look like they could be like in a local museum. Award-winning quilts. All of the sports figures that have come from Pleasantview have like a jersey here or something here relating to them. Baby shoes. The local mayor has a sign here. I like the idea that somebody stole an ATM and since it's broken, now it's at the museum. That is my cat saying hello. This bust of Cordelia was stolen at one point, so this is kind of the story about that. And then you come right through there to this giant aquarium, which is kind of a replica of how bad the water used to be in Pleasantview before this huge cleanup initiative was started. Obviously none of this is real trash because they want to be nice to the fishes. But yeah, Pleasantview got kind of dirty and gross, and so there's a huge recycling initiative, and now they're really green and clean, so you can see kind of all of the different things here. I can't, brain collectors and things like that. God, my brain is just fried. Over here are lots of little different plants, again donated by people. I like the idea that this shows what the plants and trees used to look like in Pleasantview before they kind of all got cut down, and what their goals are. They want to go back to that point. And then of course there is a wall where you can take pictures, just upload them, and like save the planet. So yeah, if we go back downstairs, we would get to the cafe, because of course, local place like this, if it does have food, people might not come to the museum, but they will come maybe to eat. So there's a bulletin board, local events, things like that. A couple of tables inside, but most of them are outside. Not a great menu in terms of items. I mean, it's just very basic. Burgers, burritos, pizza. These are already pre-wrapped burgers if you want to do that. Just kind of straws, stir sticks, that kind of thing. Here is where you would order what you want to eat. And then that leads to the outside area. And finally, as you're leaving the museum, you would come to the gift shop, which I'm really happy with. It took me a minute to get where I wanted to go, but I think we came up with a good solution. So there's a lot of items over here, books maybe written by local authors, that sort of thing, or about Pleasantview. Lotion, sunscreen, different little dinosaur toys, because there's the dinosaur exhibit. Books on nature, because there's nature exhibit. I tried to get snow globes that would kind of match Pleasantview a little bit, like that's supposed to be the Goth Manor, Plum Bob, little things like that. A wide variety of just miscellaneous books that they have, just singlets that they have. Jewelry and soap, little crystals. Of course, the giant, I think it's called Drago, I don't know, it's a Blarfy, but the dinosaur version. You can buy some magazines or postcards, some more magazines, a flower display, more jewelry and stuffed animals. Over here you can buy shirts or candles. It's like a little handheld plumb bob, little Zen garden, CDs, sunglasses, a cool alien lamp. Over here, honestly, this is the impulse buy, but this is the mean thing where they're like, let's put lots of little toys right where people would buy things so that the small children cry and then they buy them. Most stores have those. I hate to tell you, that's why the candy is also at the front of the register. And then I like the idea that there's a local event, so they put a poster there. And you can also buy little seed packets. And it's also a little packet of tarot cards if you want to buy those. And of course, cow plant mug. I couldn't put it in the cow plant room, so it had to go there. And yeah, little missing cat poster, and that is the Pleasantview Museum. I had so much fun decorating and designing this place. I said at the beginning this was originally an H&M, but it just didn't fit with my gameplay, and I didn't know what to do with it, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna do what the community probably would have done. As soon as it closed, they would have repurposed this building into something that's useful for the community, and I think a museum is really the best way to do that. I am happy with my first foray, kind of dipping my toes into object recolors. It really wasn't as hard as I was making it out to be in my head, but we'll see. I might try to make something a little bigger next time. So thank you guys for joining me. If you liked this video, definitely give it a like. If you enjoyed the museum, maybe leave a comment down below about what your favorite part was, and I will see you in the next one.